Hey y'all, it's Ali from Little Hill Homestead. You guys know that I don't like to spend a lot of money going out for coffee drinks, but I do like them. Who doesn't? But I'm not spending $6 or $7 on each one of them. So I've showed you guys a couple different recipes on how we make like coffee creamer dupes, and I've told you guys about some powdered espresso that we really, really like, but I don't know what's in it. And so I decided we were gonna give this little guy a try. This is a Gevi espresso maker. It is a 20 bar espresso maker. It's not complicated. It's super easy to use, and it has a very small footprint. My mom has a much, much larger one that's very difficult to use and super impossible to clean. So I don't want something so big on my counter. So this is what we decided to give a try. So I am going to show you guys in our video today, we are going to make a pumpkin pie spice coffee syrup. And then I'm also going to show you guys how we make that into a pumpkin spice coffee mate dupe. We made this a couple weeks ago, and this was one of the flavors that you guys asked about over and over. So today, here you guys go. So I'm going to bring you over to the stove, and we're going to give it a whirl. I'm turning my pot on. I have a small pot here, and I have some water. So I have a cup of water, a cup of sugar, a fourth a cup of pumpkin puree. We're going to use some pumpkin pie spice and vanilla. That's going to be the syrup part of our coffee. So let's just get it going, right? So I'm going to put everything in here except for the vanilla. The vanilla you're going to add after it's done cooking down. This is the pumpkin puree, by the way, that we canned a couple weeks ago. Somebody was asking what's the consistency like. Let me show you. It's still a very thick pumpkin. There you go. It's very similar to canned pumpkin. When you're after we thinned it out, it's what it kind of ends up like. I just got it on the floor. And then we have pumpkin pie spice. We got one from Azure Standard, and it's way better than the grocery store one. I don't know if it's got something different in it or what, but it's really good. So a couple teaspoons of that. I like overly spiced when I'm doing this, because I tend to like that in my coffee. If you don't like overly spiced, just take it down to like a teaspoon. So our Azure Standard order is due in a couple days. And Shawn was like, hey, start making sure you're getting stuff for Christmas cookies. And I was like, oh yeah, because if I wait, it's going to be mid-December before our next order comes in, or beginning of December. By then, a lot of people are going to be doing the same thing. So we're going to start buying cocoa powders. I'm going to buy some baking powder from them to try. We usually make our own, but I wanted to see what theirs is like. Baking soda. What do you guys buy? What do you need for cookies? Butter. We're buying a bunch of butter. But what do you guys stock ahead of time? Other than like flour and sugar, we're getting 25 pounds of sugar. What do you stock ahead of time for Christmas cookies? Just let me know. Are you doing the same thing? Like, I'm just curious. Because I'm afraid that if I wait too long, then Thanksgiving will come through, and then Christmas has already started. And by then, everybody's in their baking season, right? So, I don't know. I'm just like, what am I not thinking of? Like, do I need to get like palm shortening? Do I need to get extra peanut butter? Do I need to, you know what I mean? So what kinds of things am I not thinking of? Let me know below. So once this comes to a boil, you're gonna let it go for 10 minutes. And then just kind of turn it to like a medium temperature so it doesn't overflow. And then we'll add a teaspoon of our vanilla as soon as it comes off. Then it's time for coffee, y'all. I don't need more coffee in my life, but I think I do always, right? Anyways, so let me tell you this. I like pumpkin flavored drinks. I like a hint of pumpkin. I don't want the pumpkin puree to be so much that it settles at the bottom and you get this funky layer. A lot of like homemade versions, you get this like sediment of pumpkin. Not my jam, you guys. That's why this is what I do. It's just a smaller amount and it kind of boils in so you don't get that stuff. You know what I'm talking about? So there's two ways you can use this too. You can either mix it with milk and sweetened condensed milk to make a creamer, like a coffee mate creamer, or you can use the syrup and just dribble that into whatever your coffee is. You don't have to use it as a creamer. You know what I mean? So you can use it as a coffee syrup instead. But I'm going to go let this go to a boil, then 10 minutes at like a medium, and then we will come back to kind of show you it thickened up and beautiful and where we are. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I've just turned off my heat. I'm going to tell you, I was in the mood for spicy, so I did add a 1/3 teaspoon. So basically it's a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice, because I was like, yeah, I really want it to be intense this time. So there you go. Take my 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Be careful, it will sputter when you put it in there a little bit. And that is done, you guys. All right, I'm just going to remove it from the heat real quick so we can show you how we're going to use it in our creamer. I'm going to make a creamer version of this. If you guys want just the coffee syrup, like the pump style, that's it. Just, there you go, that you're done. We're going to be making a latte with it, but I also wanted to show you how we make coffee creamer. We showed you guys the Coffee Mate Dupe a couple weeks ago. This is the same thing, but with the pumpkin spice. There you go. There you go. So I have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk that I've thrown in a jar. I'm adding 2 cups of milk to that. Whatever milk you want, you guys. Ooh, are we gonna be able to make it in this big jar? Let me dump a little bit out of that. I need some mix-in room. And then usually I put it in a bigger jar because I double the recipe, but yeah, there it is. You need a 1/2 cup of the syrup that we just created. It's a little bit thick. As it cools down, it'll thicken up. 1, 2. Okay, so I'm glad I took some of the milk out. Use a bigger container. Don't be like me. So I'm using what is this called? Immersion blender to get in the jar, kind of like when you make mayonnaise. You don't have to do this. You can put it in a bowl and then do it the other way too. It's just many dishes, right? Just enough to get the sweetened condensed milk all stirred into our mixture. It's just because I didn't want to use a spoon and try to get to the bottom of this jar. I should have used a bowl. It's fine. All right, there you go. Done with that guy. Let me unhook that. Then I'm just going to top it off with whatever milk I've got left that will fit. Boom, we're back to it. Put my lid on, and there you guys go. There's a single batch of our pumpkin spice Coffee Mate Dupe. Now, let's use this stuff to make a latte. Who's with me? Let's go. Okay, we've got our syrups made. I have the Coffee Mate Dupe, and I have the syrup over here. So I have both. For today, we're going to be using the syrup version because I'm going to be making a hot latte. So here's our little machine. I'm going to start just by turning it on. It's just got 4 buttons on the top: of power, a single shot, a double shot, and then this one is for a steamer. It has a little steamer one on the side. So while it blinks to let you know that it's warming up, it came with a single shot or a double shot little doodad. We're going to do a double shot for this. You kind of just twist it once it's in there and then it's locked. I got this one because it was the only one espresso powder that I could find local to me really easily. So I've just been using that the last few days and I'm liking it. I have a Cafe Bustelo or whatever that one is too. We're going to use after this one, but it comes with this scoop on one end and then the little tapper on the other. So I go ahead and do 2 scoops. I kind of do a mid tap just so that I can fit my second scoop in there. And got it. And then you just kind of tamper it down. I hope you can see. Tamper it down and then clean the edge off. Like that. And then just clean off your edges. Now, one of the things is with this being a small machine, it doesn't have the weight. So when I do lock this on, I typically have to line it up. And then I kind of have to use my arm on the top of it to hold it while I turn it. There we go. And that's just because it's lightweight. It's not a, high dollar machine, which is why I picked it. So now all of our lights on the top are illuminated. My coffee cup, so I have these cute little ones. This, by the way, is a little warmer on top. I can fit this underneath, but when I want to just use one of my cups, I just take the little tray out. So I'm going to get my coffee cup under there. I'm doing a double shot for this one. So I'm just going to hit the double shot and let it roll. While that's doing that, I'm going to get our milk ready. I just have a little milk frothing cup, I guess is what you would call it. I have about 6 cups of just milk in there right now. And I'm going to add maybe, I don't know, a splash Depends on how sweet you like it. That's probably about an ounce of our pumpkin syrup that we made. So our espresso shot is done. You can program this to do a bigger shot if you want it to be like less intense, or you know what I mean, in your face. So now that it's done, the espresso shot, we're done with that part. There's a button on the side that's a steamer button. So I'm gonna push that so that it can start warming up the steamer side. There's a knob on the side right here. That's how you're gonna release, like turn on the steam once this stops blinking. So I have our milk here, and I'm gonna put our little damper away because we're done with it. So my light is now solid. So to get this ready to steam, you got to empty the water out that's in it. So I just put a little cup underneath it and turn the knob, and it just kind of cleans it out and starts steaming. Once we're in steaming, I turn it back off, and then I'm going to turn it to, I want it to get my milk hot. So I turn, there's a one that has little waves above the cup. That's how you get it hot. And then their frother, you would just turn this little black knob. So I'm going to go ahead and put my milk on there and turn it to heating it up, basically. Takes a couple minutes, seconds, depends on how hot you want it, really. It sounds like a dinosaur. I keep my mic away from that. That thing is loud. Spin it in a circle until it's the warmth that I want it. Then once it's warm enough, the thing is, it's loud because my mic is right next to it. In real life, it's not incredibly loud. It just sounds like you're at a coffee shop. I'm going to turn this now because I do want to froth it a little bit. And then same thing, I'm just going to put it to the top of my milk and then kind of lift it up and down until it's frothy. So that's just putting basically air into our milk to make it that pretty foam that you get on top of coffees. And that is it. To clean it, I've just been using a paper towel, you guys. And I just go in to the steamer function. I kind of shoot a little steam onto here, and that cleans out the inside. And then whatever's left on here, I just kind of clean off the nozzle. Boom. Okay. Our milk is ready. Our coffee is ready. I'm just going to pour this in there. Do you see the beautiful foam it made? And we have a perfect, can't see it, cup of pumpkin. So it's pumpkin spice latte, basically, you guys. That's what we've created. It's just spicy enough. It's pretty tasty. It's pretty tasty. So if you want to do an iced, basically all you would do is make your espresso. Same thing, make your espresso, dump that over some ice, like in a cup, and then you would top it with some milk and your coffee mate creamer type stuff. But either way, it just depends on what you want. If you want this really sweet, you can use this instead of the milk and our syrup. So really just kind of mess around with them until you get a recipe that you like. But that is our Gevi espresso maker. I'll put a link below if you guys want to check it out. If you have an espresso maker already, tell me some great recipes you make with it, because so far we've been making that brown sugar one that we made the other day, and we have made a gingerbread now to test out. I need to work on that one a little more. And then now we have made our pumpkin spice. I do have a caramel brulee latte that we'll be doing soon too. So if you love coffee like me, we're set, right? It's got some kick to it. I like the nutmeggy. Good stuff. All right, I'm going to go get caffeinated, and I hope you guys enjoyed our video. Thanks for watching.